up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, part 1. Out of 5 stars, I'll give it a 2.5. A 2. No half. No half. It was just the. So let's talk about it. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know that you stopped by. I do want to point out that one of the first things that Andy said was based on the seating arrangements, because they all came out and they were all like, these seating arrangements are random, right? Because the man's telling them, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here. And they were like, wow, this is random. This is random. So when Andy finally came out, he says, you know, the rhyme or reason to the seating arrangements is who's getting along. We want to sit you next to who's getting along. If you're not getting along, we want to sit you across from each other, basically. But it was very hard to do the seating arrangements this time, right? Because none of these women are friends. None of them like each other. So I thought that was very poignant at the beginning of the show that Andy pointed out that it was difficult. The seating arrangements were difficult because the women don't get along, are not getting along. We don't ever know. I don't know. Let me tell you something. After this reunion, if Candace is up in Giselle or Ashley's face at any moment next season, you're going to go on the same space with them. If you have not learned, I don't know how many times the snake has to bite you for you to decide not to handle it at all. It's going to be on Candace. It's going to be on Candace, and that's it. They start off with the Reasonably Shady podcast, Robin and Giselle talking about what happened with Chris. I mean, hold on. Oh, not with Chris. With Juan. Talking about what happened with Juan. And then they went on, and then it went to the Watch What Happens Live episode. And then 2 weeks ago, the reunion. So while Robin was sitting up there talking about a man shouldn't be in a hotel room alone with a woman, talking about Chris, girl, what about you? I mean, it's not lost on us. It's not lost on us that a man and a woman should not be in a room alone together. Shut up. Shut up, Robin. Unless he's paying her hotel bill. Is that what it is? Ashley and Luke and Jason Goodman, I don't know nothing about that. That did not happen on the season. Why are we talking about it? Robin is a married woman now. Everybody claps for her. She says it feels good. It feels more legit. Ooh, I'll be glad when you dick worshippers stop trying to feel like a man needs to legitimize you. I'll be so happy. Candace, tell me how to get to Sesame Street. Ashley, she got the keys. Oh, gosh. Then Andy said something about Candace's dress being like Cookie Monster. It wasn't too far off. It was giving Cookie Monster. I really wish that dress would have been a shade of blue in the underneath instead of that peach blush color. I think it wasn't even nude. It was like a peach blushy nude to her. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was blue underneath because it would have made it feel like just a lighter blue for the feathers to still pop. I feel like that was just like a design error. Whoever designed that, I would take that exact dress back to the drawing board and put a color blue underneath that, because it just wasn't for me. Wendy says she's keeping up to date on her wine, tequila, and water. She's keeping a balance. Yeah, the seating arrangement, who's getting along. So it was hard because everybody has a lot of problems. Ashley, congratulations on the house. Does Michael have the keys? Yes, he does. Are there stipulations and boundary issues? Yes, there are. You need to reinforce stricter boundaries. She's not. She's basically, I feel like Ashley's basically owned by Michael now. I feel like she's so destitute without Michael. Well, that's what it comes off. I mean, I would like to see her independent of Michael Darby LLC or whatever the hell they got going on over there. It would be a nice look, but I think just like based on how she met Michael or Weaselized Sheila, Heartbreakers 2.0, I feel like without Michael, Ashley and her mama will be destitute. I really believe that. They'll go back to having tap water. They'll go back to having tap water ice cubes under the bridge, and we don't want that. So by hook or crook, if you need to stay connected to him in any way, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. She says she started falling in love with the guy. I don't know who the guy is. We didn't meet him on the season. So the divorce didn't work out for her again. Once again, the plan was foiled. Weasel Eyed Sheila is gonna be pissed. She didn't get nothing, no alimony. She might get some spousal support, child support. Even Robin was like, "Girl, you better get that child support if you're not gonna get alimony or anything like that." And you know, Rodney, shout out to Rodney the Voice. He always says that y'all be thinking, y'all, these young hot girls, you know, thinking you about to get over on these old decrepit scab of men, just like Lala over there on Vanderpump Rules. Y'all think you get these old ass, you know, odd, below average looking men, and they're gonna trick all their money off on you, and then you can run around and marry them, and then turn around and this dumbass man is gonna be out of his money when he's been in business and a millionaire for I don't know how many years. You really think you're gonna juice this man out of his money? Huh? You think you're gonna juice this man out of his money? Absolutely not. He ain't that damn dumb. So so a question came in talking about, you know, Ashley, stop lying. You didn't got with the man. Your prenuptial agreement is up. Now it's time to get the bag. It was from a question, somebody named Portia. Candace on the other end of the couch talking about Portia Williams. Yeah, she'd be somebody to ask a question like that. So they said, are you going to get child support? I'm sure she's going to get child support, but I'm sure that based on how involved Michael is in their lives, it's not going to be like a child support as if he weren't involved, because he's going to make sure that he seems to be involved. I mean, she got the house with him again. Like, I feel like the way that Ashley was talking to Candace about, you know, I think once you become an adult, you should have your own house. Were you 30 years old? Did you have your own house at 30 years old, Ashley? Did you? Or were you laying up under some old ass man with bloodshot eyes and flaky skin in order to get your house? Yeah. I'd rather my mom and dad buy me my house than to have to do what you did to get a house. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm like, how the hell is she trying to shame Candace for her mama getting her a house? Girl, you had to lay up and you had to let that man put his penis in you, girl, for your house. That man. Yikes. So, shout out to Ashley. Somebody asked, you know, you said that Candace was the least accomplished. Candace got all kind of shit going on. Don't she got a beauty pageant consulting firm? Don't she got a hairline? In addition to her music career, her acting career, Real Housewives of Potomac, all the other little brandings. I'd walk by the newsstands and see Candace on covers of magazines and shit. So I'm not sure what she's talking about. What do you mean least accomplished? Because her parents bought her a house? And I'm so glad that Candace was like, girl, you really jealous of the generational wealth. All you're getting in your inheritance is some tent spikes, okay? To fasten your tent down underneath that highway. I'm sorry to say it. That's what you're inheriting, okay? And it's really, I told y'all that girl is jealous. That's why Candace, you should have never let that girl in your house, because she's jealous from jump. She's been jealous. All you've done is you can't pay expenses without Michael. Apologize to Candace for that. She's not going to get no apology. Candace says, is it my fault that my family took care of me? I think as an adult, you should be responsible for yourself. and you are not. This nigga said I had a spouse, so you had to put your legs in the air. That's what I'm saying. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. I need somebody to get a clip of when Candace told Giselle, "You are not smart." It reminded me of Nene telling Phaedra that at the end of the couch, "You never win when you play dirty." Okay. I said, okay. Could you have gotten that house without Michael? I could have gotten a house, yes, underneath the damn bridge, girl. We know. That's what I'm saying. The fact that she is dependent, she's literally dependent on Michael Darby. Like, still dependent. It would be nice to see Ashley be independent, but we're never going to see that. We're never going to see that. But not that house. You couldn't afford it on your own, right? But you decided to malign me for my generational wealth. She says, I pray that you have that for your children. While you looking over your divorce decree, what you thought you were gonna get after you had to sleep with this man. Oh, can you believe it? Oh my God. So she said she's fine. I'm so glad Candace got her together with that. I'm so glad. So she says she's filing for divorce in February. She is keeping his last name. Again, she would be destitute without Michael Darby. Show us that you show us that you can. Show us that you can. Right. I couldn't believe that she said that lady was the least accomplished, but it's like the privilege, and that's what happens when that bias comes in. It's like, how do you think Candace is the least accomplished on this stage? What are your accomplishments, Ashley? How's your little yoga line going? Your little leisure wear, your little t-shirts and leggings you got over there. How's that going? Did y'all know Ashley got a little clothing line over there? Some like yoga pants or something? Yeah, I'm sure you didn't know. She said she just wants to make it clear that Michael is a good father. Sure, sure, sure. Again, you work for him, and you are dependent on him to the point where you even have to be his spokesman to let the people know he's a good father who cheated on his mother and got caught with multiple women and been accused of sexual misconduct and assault. He's a good father, though. Okay, Ashley. Mia, we get on Mia. Her mysterious health scare. Um, y'all were saying that she had sarcoidosis, but the lady said, I'm so glad they showed the clip so we can get, because I heard so many people like, oh no, that's really serious, don't say nothing about Mia, it's really serious. But that doctor said it wasn't that, it was just a rash. And I'm so glad they showed that clip of Gordon said, oh, it's what you interpreted. Yeah. And I truly believe that Mia is a pathological liar. I was like, this girl just lies, just lies. And she couldn't even get it together, girl. It was a mess. So she said she had several things going on. I'm so glad Andy asked the question, do you think the manufacturer's warranties were up? And that's why your body is just reacting now. It's, the warranties of, right after the warranty goes down, honey, everything starts acting up. Now you got to take the shit into the shop and do all that extra shit. So she had some lymph nodes, some swollen lymph nodes, some lumps. She says she's on medication. Some tissue is growing in her reproductive organs, and she wants to keep her female organs. The breast implant, she said something about the breast implants, but I just put manufacturer's warranty was up. That's what I thought it was. Wendy, are you a hypocrite? Are you a hypocrite for saying that Mia was lying to the producer, but in her face you was telling her something different? Right. I don't believe you, but in your face, I'm not going to say that. And I'm so glad that Wendy said that, because who actually, like I said the other day, who actually questions someone's diagnosis of cancer? Nobody. In a social setting, that is not acceptable. So no, you're not going to do that. But in private, girl, when we sitting at the kitchen table, I'm going to be like, bitch, that bitch is lying. We know she lying, girl. But girl, are you okay? Is everything okay? Okay, great. We know she lying, though. I'm so glad she said it. I really am. Why you didn't say it in my face, and didn't have my opportunist husband follow me around with a camera. Girl, okay. Okay, great. And let me tell you something. The way I said this, that's why Mia don't like Wendy. I said that's why Mia cannot stand Wendy's ass, because it's a lot like the dynamic between Portia and Kenya. It's like this really smart woman and this pretty dumb girl. I mean, pretty is subjective. A lot of y'all would say that Portia is not attractive, but a lot of people go up for Portia, not for her wit, not for her quick comebacks, but for just simply because of her butt and her smile, her big butt and her smile. And that's it. I mean, she has a loyal fan base off of those two things. So that is what it's giving me. It's giving me shallow, pretty girl with a smile, not that bright, going up against the beautiful, smart, truly beautiful, witty, quick woman. Kenya and Portia, Wendy and Mia. And every time when that girl says something, Wendy is right there to make a correction. I love it. North Carolina and what'd she say? Charlotte and Potomac are on the same coast. That girl said they was bi-coastal. I said, girl, you lie. You just lie too much. I said on Twitter last night, can somebody please tell me it's easier to tell the truth? It really is so much easier. Girl, I'm going to give you some advice. Mia, pathological liars, and Mia, the rest of y'all out there. Mia Nokio, okay? And Geppetto. G, listen, I'm going to tell you something, sweetie. You never have to remember anything if you tell the truth. You know how hard it is to remember all the lies you tell? If you told the truth, you won't have to remember shit. And that's just the facts. Because the story, every time you tell it, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. So that was it for that. How are you the CEO? How can someone take it from you? They took them off of the bank accounts. They revoked access. Giselle's description about them embezzling, that sounded almost right to me. I was like, sounds about right. They revoked your access to the bank accounts. I don't understand how you're renting a home and you do $60,000 worth of renovations to a rental. And then you talk about, well, we have multiple rentals. Y'all keep sounding stupid. It's like getting stupider as you talk. As you talk, this is getting more ridiculous as you talk. Actually, we have 3 rental homes. Girl, why would you say that? That doesn't sound smart. Did you have to give them up? Yeah, we did. Yeah, Andy was like, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. So at first she said there was 3 board members. Then she said it was 3 managing board members and the rest of the board members. Their percentages don't matter, but you have to vote. And it was 2 against 1. The other brothers and other members decided these motherfuckers are spending too much money. We don't know where they're pulling money out, how they're pulling money out. But we got a old survival stripper scammer over there living with this old ass man, juicing them out, paying $65,000 or over $60,000 on renovations to a rental. So you made that person's property better and you lived and you moved out. A mess. It does sound like they was over there embezzling. It does. That's why they revoked your access to the accounts. You ain't pulling nothing else out of here. Y'all need to figure out a way. Y'all need to get jobs. Y'all been released back. Here are your pink slips. Thank you so much. So she said they're probably going to share their shares, sell their shares, and so they can get a return on their investment. A mess. We're actually renting 3. We're in Charlotte. We have 2 in condo in Charlotte, something else in Charlotte, and in Potomac. And then he was like, well, you have 3 rentals? Yeah, because we're bi-coastal. Wendy said, those are both on the same coast. Everybody's laughing. And that speaks to Candace, Watch What Happens Live. She said most people, they were mostly laughing at Mia. She lies so much. She said, Andy said, is there anything that you would change? And she says, no, I'm just me. I can't change me. See what I'm saying? By dumb. You can't change yourself? Okay. Okay, girl. They get on Candace and Griselda. It was a lot for them. I'm just going to try and summarize all the shit that they were saying. Basically, all the stories you told about Chris, that he was a sneaky link, that married men tried to talk to you, and he was just basically testing you to try to see what was up. So what did he actually say for him to give you that impression? It is really Giselle's issue. It's really, I think she thinks any man, these things in her head. Married men have tried to get with me. He was trying to see if he could be a sneaky link, and he was trying to see what was up. Chris did send her a text message apologizing after the season wrap. This was before they actually get to see the season. That's what Candace said. Let's just make it clear that text was sent. And I told you, Chris Bassett, I hope when you walk out on that stage that you say, I take that apology back. Because still in that back and forth, no one asked Griselda, what did Chris do to make you feel uncomfortable? What did he say to make you feel uncomfortable? Nobody asked that. I was like, why isn't Andy asking her, what did he do exactly? I want to know what he did to make you feel uncomfortable, right? Well, he closed the door and he locked it behind him. Okay, I can see how that would make you feel uncomfortable. Or he closed the door and took his jacket off and unzipped his pants. Okay, we got it. Or he closed the door and said, I'm so glad to be alone with you finally. Okay, there's some things that people can say or do to make you feel like, girl, what is going on? Right? Or he backed me up against the wall and got in my face. I want to hear exactly what Chris Bassett did. So before they saw the footage, he did send a text message and apologize, right? Giselle said he admitted it and he apologized. That's it. And Andy said, well, that doesn't sound like an admission, because he said, if you felt uncomfortable, I apologize. She said, that was not an admission. Giselle, a question that came out that said that why did Candace, I get that you're defending your husband, but why did you say that Giselle accused Chris of sexual assault? And she said because Giselle went outside and said he grabbed her friend. And remember, Giselle said that's not what she said, because see, they didn't straighten it out. And that's what, I don't like that part. They didn't straighten that out, because when it came out again, that's what Giselle said. And we know that Giselle lies, and that's why it's very hard to believe her. And I'm glad that Wendy said that. It's very hard to believe you, because everybody knows that you put 2 on 10. When it came out again, Ashley said, that's not what I said. And then Giselle, in her normal behavior, says, oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. That's what I thought I heard. And another thing that I don't like what Giselle does on reunions is when you confront her, she's so confused about why you're confronting her. Like, what? How are you so confused? What? You that confused? You said it. But she acts like she's so confused. I can't stand that she does that. That's the things that she does. She puts 2 on 10. When you confront her about it, she says, that's what I heard. There's no way that you could have heard that, because Ashley didn't say that. That he grabbed her ass. Okay. So that's what Candace was talking about. Well, Giselle likes to throw a little sauce on it. Here's Ashley bringing up the rear for Giselle. Candace said, don't do that, because that's not it. Don't do that. Robin says, I don't think we should miss the message that a man should not be alone in a room with a single woman. Really? Really? Is that what, that's the message you don't want us to miss, Robin? Baby, I love when they were going around for the introduction and Andy says, is Juan going to be here? She said, no. He said, I thought so. He has to work. Really? Or is he out paying unpaid hotel bills for the damsel in distress in the DMV? Robin Hood, honey. Oh my God. I don't think we should miss the message. Shut up. And I'm so glad that Andy said, I don't understand why we acting like we're in this Victorian era where a man, 2 adults cannot be in a room together, no matter their marital status. He said, I don't know if it's because I'm gay or not. It is, because heterosexual people act like men and women cannot be seen alone together. They act like every interaction is a potential, somebody's potentially going to be screwing. There's no such thing as just platonic, regular, two adults, man and woman having a conversation. No. That's it. Yes, Andy. He's like, I don't know if it's because I'm gay or what it is, but I don't see the problem with two people going into a room and having a conversation, and there not be anything wrong with that. It really is the heterosexual thing. It really is, because they're like, heterosexual people do not believe, mostly do not believe that a man and a woman should not be in a room alone together, especially, and if there are, they was doing something in that room together. And if so, it's best that if that man and woman are in a room together, that they're both single, so that nobody can say that the married one was up to no good, or the single person is a whore by being alone with this married person. That's just the rules, honey. So that's where she gets that from. And of course, Giselle believes that every man wants her. And I'm so glad that Candace was like, you just think that every man wants you, and that's what it is. And they want to get with you, and they trying to see if they're sneaky link and trying to see if you was down. I think it gives Giselle an ego boost to keep that messaging in her head that every man she comes in contact with, they want her, right? She even offered herself up to Andy. She told Andy if he doesn't have sex with a woman by the time he's 60, she'll give him some or whatever. He said, I think that will be an HR issue. He laughed at it though, but he said, I think that would be an HR issue. Were you worried about Chris's reputation? She said no, she's not worried about his reputation. She's worried about ruining reputations, because that's what she does. That's what she does. She says, no, I wasn't going to say anything until Ashley said she was getting DMs. Right. And then Wendy says, we would like to give Giselle the benefit of the doubt, except for there's a pattern. You do have a problem. You have a problem, and then you don't mention it until the cameras start rolling. And that's pretty much it. And then she says, I haven't seen her. I didn't see Candace. And Candace was like, yeah, you did see me a few times. And she was like, you came to my one of my performances. You were up there supporting me and everything like that. And she was like, was I supposed to tell you there? But that's not the point. The point is, you had opportunities to tell Candace this, except for you decided to bring it on camera when you had 5 months to actually talk to her about it. Wasn't it like 5 months or something like that? Yeah, that's what I thought. And she says, you're not smart. That's what Candace said. You're not smart. She's like, what? She said, you had opportunity to talk about your uterus. And that's what I said at the end of the episode. You had an opportunity, because like what you were going through with your uterus or whatever, you had an opportunity to bring that to the forefront, because other women might be dealing with what you're dealing with. But instead, you decide to wait until they edited and waited to the last episode to talk about something that could have been a true personal story for you, because you were so busy trying to accuse Chris of something that he didn't say, that he didn't do. He made you feel uncomfortable. And the only reason why you came out with it is because she was getting DMs, but it wasn't really a DM. It was a response to a story of him inviting them. And it wasn't the girl in the picture. Production put somebody else in the picture, or put another picture. It was actually Ashley and Robin. So it's a lot of convoluted shit happening. But at the end of the day, you had an opportunity to talk to Candace about it. You did. And that was the end of the episode. You used this show to lie on people. Candace was just telling her off. Like I said, I think I said this at the beginning of the season. I don't care what Candace says to Giselle. What she talked about, her dwindling uterus, is that what she said? I don't care what she says to Giselle. I don't. Dwindling uterus, your rolling hills of neck, your stovepipe legs. That's what Karen called you. I call you Sister Stovepipe, since we know you stuck in your college years. And that's pretty much it. I don't care. Whatever she says to her, I don't care. There's no like, oh my God, I can't believe Candace said that. So what? So what? Just like when 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 Robin said to Karen at that table, "So what? So what? So what? I don't care. You're dwindling uterus." She said it twice. Don't say anything else about the uterus. To me, it wasn't landing right. I felt like she could have came at her in the way, but using the word uterus probably was used so that it can jar her. Like you had an opportunity to talk about your dwindling uterus, but instead you decided to lie on my husband. I don't care what Candace says to them. As long as Candace don't turn around and jump in their face next season, I'm fine. Because you could say all this and be rah-rah on the other end of the couch, and the next season be all up in their face calling them friends. Then I'm looking at you crazy, Candace Dilla Bassett. So that's the end of the episode. Y'all take care of each other, protect your energy. Let me know what y'all think of the episode. I pretty much summed it up. Peace. Okay. Make sure to like and subscribe on your way out. This is my kid just told me to say. Peace.